Alright, last video for our practice test, solving triangles. Solving every angle and every side. Bam! So basically, I would start with maybe solving side little a. And so across from big A is little a, across from big B is little b, and across from big C is little c. Right? And so to find little a, what I would do first is I would set it up. Remember that it's trig of some angle is equal to something over something. It's called our setup. And so let's see, we have C, so we have a side length, we also have an angle. So let's use our angle and solve for the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Nice. And so opposite over hypotenuse, of course, is sine. So we're going to use sine of some angle. The angle they give us is 46 degrees. Is equal to opposite, little a, over hypotenuse 6. Now we want to solve for a. And so we're going to go ahead now and solve for a by multiplying by 6 over to the other side, and then plugging that into our calculator. That's not too bad, right? So we go 6 sine 46, and so make sure our mode is in degrees, which it is. And so that's going to be 4.316, so that rounds to just 4.3. So little a is just equal to 4.3. Nice. 4.3. Nice. Okay, beautiful. And so now we have what little a is, which is awesome. So we could use the Pythagorean Theorem to find little b, or we could use probably adjacent over hypotenuse. And since this is opposite, this is hypotenuse, this is adjacent. And since we know what a hypotenuse is, 6, we can go and set up the same exact thing. This time we're doing cosine, right? So cosine 46 is equal to, why did I use cosine? Because we have adjacent over hypotenuse, where adjacent is little side b, and hypotenuse is 6. Again, we're just going to go ahead and multiply 6 to the other side to get what little b is. So we'll try to do an easier triangle one like this on the test, because I really like this one. This one's pretty good. So that gives us 4.16, which rounds to 4.2. 4.2. Nice. So that means the little b is going to be 4.2. And then basically angle B, that's this guy right here, that's really easy to find, because we have, this is 90 degrees, and then these two have to add up to 90 degrees, because 90 plus 90 is 180. And so basically we'll just take 90 and minus 46. And 90 minus 46 is 44. So 44 degrees is our answer there. Nice. So that wasn't too bad, Next one might be a little tougher. Ooh, what if they don't give you the hypotenuse? Then it's a little bit tougher, but it's still not too bad, still possible. Here we go. Okay, so again, we want to label our triangles. So across from big C is little c. That's really big, sorry. Little c. Across from big B is little b, and across from big A is little a. Cool. So let's see here, beautiful. So I'd probably find an angle just with the given information, right? So you just have to choose first. You have to choose either angle A or angle B. And so you have to choose. You choose. Cool. And so I'm going to choose B. What the? That says angle B twice. One of those supposed to say A. This first one's supposed to say A. Good thing I looked at this. I'll go and fix that. So I'm going to choose A. Awesome. So the measure of angle A is going to be right here, question mark. And so across from that angle will be called the opposite. Closest to will be the adjacent. And then across from there is the hypotenuse. And so to find angle A, I would do opposite, because they give us opposites, over adjacent. Nice. Can you remember which trig function does opposite over adjacent? SOHCAHTOA. That's right, so tangent of some angle A we don't know, right? Some angle A we don't know. It's going to be equal to opposite 9 over adjacent 3.7. Now to undo, right, to go ahead and undo tangent, you have to inverse tangent. And if you inverse tangent one side, you have to inverse tangent the other side. There we go. So we'll go ahead and get our calculator or decimals and do inverse tangent of 9 divided by 3.7. And that gives us 67 point, round that up to the nearest tenth, 67.7 degrees. So angle A, because that went away, is equal to 67.7 degrees. And now to find angle B, it's also super easy if you just take 90 minus that. Because 180 minus the 90 degree angle is 90 degrees. And then 90 minus 60 point. And then 90 minus 67.7. Gives us 22.3. And so that means that angle B is going to be 22.3 degrees. Nice, nice. So that's 22.3, that's 67.7. And then measure of angle length C, we could also use SOHCAHTOA one more time. Or if we really want to, we could do the Pythagorean Theorem. 3.7 squared plus 9 squared is equal to C squared. And then we just go ahead and square root that whole thing. And just plug that into our calculator. So the square root of 3.7 squared plus 9 squared. Here we go. So the square root of 3.7 squared plus 9 squared. So that gives us 9.73, which is just 9.7. 9.7 is the right answer. Woo! Bam, bam, bam. Perfect. I'm going to write that down off to the side just to make sure I check this because I'm worried. Pretty sure the right answers, but now that I've done it and I didn't put A, I'm just going to double check, Okay, wrote that down. It's 22.3, perfect. Okay, so next two. Here we go. So do you remember how to list positive and negative coterminal angles? Well, basically, all you do to find a positive coterminal angle is go ahead and plus 2 pi, and then go ahead for the negative coterminal angle minus 2 pi. Now you might have to turn that 2 pi into 12ths, right? So pi over 12. If we're going to add 2 pi, well, that 2 pi you're going to have to turn it into 12ths. So that means you're going to go ahead and times it by 12 over 12, which is just 1. And so that's going to be 24 times, so 12 times 2 is 24. That's going to be 24 pi over 12. And so 24 plus 5 is 29 pi over 12. There's our right answer. And so that's a positive coterminal angle. And then if you go ahead and take that same thing, but minus it, then 5 minus 24 is negative 19. Negative 19 pi over 12. Now, they want you to put that in the right quadrant. What the? I'm not sure about 5 pi over 12, so we might have to turn that into a degree, because I'm pretty good at degrees. Are you good at degrees? So times by 180 over pi, so our pi's are going to cancel. And then do 5 times 180 over 12. 5 times 180 divided by 12. Oh, it's just 75 degrees, which is in the first quadrant. Beautiful. So that's just in the first quadrant. Nice, nice. Okay, next one. That's the easier one. And so with this one, we have 210 degrees. Good, good, good. And so again, we're just going to go ahead and add 360, which 3 plus 2 is 5. So it should be what, 570 is a positive coterminal angle. And then you're also going to take 210 and minus 360. Go a full circle around. Again, 210 degrees is right about there. 180 plus 30. And so if we're trying to get a negative coterminal angle, right, then you're going to go ahead and go this way. What is that angle, basically? And by minusing 360, 210 minus 360, that's going to give us our angle. I'm guessing it's negative 120, but let's double check. Oh, that was close. Negative 150. There we go. And so negative 150 will be there. And then what quadrant is that in? And so that quadrant, of course, is in quadrant 3. Last but not least, I might have already done this on the other video, but just in case. So this one may or may not be on the test this year, but you definitely want to know how to do it. So please mark all the correct corresponding values of cotangent 4 over 3. Well, first you got to know what cotangent is, right? So cotangent is not sine over cosine, but it's cosine over sine. And that means that that's going to be equal to what? 4 over 3. And so that means the cosine, right, is the x value, and sine is the y value. Oh, okay. So if I draw a triangle like this, and so I go the x value, which is 4. I guess it wouldn't look exactly like that. It'd be more this way. And so this would be a distance of 4. This would be a distance of 3. Cool. And cool. Oh, so that means we can find the hypotenuse. And so 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared. And that's 9 plus 16 is equal to c squared. That's 25. 9 plus 16 is 25. We square root both sides, so c is 5. So our hypotenuse is 5. And our hypotenuse is 5, excellent. And so depending on which one we're looking at and which angle we're looking at, so be careful there. Let's see, the angle we're looking at here, they tell us cotangent of theta. So that's sine over cosine. Cool. So I'm guessing we're going to use this angle. And so opposite this angle would be opposite, and which is sine. And then adjacent would be the 4, because that's, oh yeah, that makes sense, that that's the angle we're going to use and do it that way. The reason why is because what is tangent? Tangent is sine over cosine, or opposite over hypotenuse and adjacent over hypotenuse. Nice, nice. And so yep, sine is opposite and cosine is adjacent. And cosine is 4 and sine is 3. Okay, perfect. So that means that we go through each one of these. So what is cosine? Is cosine 3 over 5? Well, the adjacent is actually 4, so that's not right. Oh, but this one adjacent is 4, so that's right. What is tangent? Well, tangent's just flipped, right? Tangent is not 4 over 3, but tangent is 3 over 4. So that's right, and that's wrong. And last but not least, what is sine? So sine, again, sine was opposite, so 3 over 5. There we go. So there's our 3 answers, and that's how we do it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Okay, thanks for watching. Ace that test. Woo! Ace it. Ace that test.